Hey YouTube, we're back with you guessed it, another YouTube video, and today we will continue to talk about my mental health journey, reaching the youth, and we will see more paintings. Now, when I speak, these are just my views and opinions. I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone. This is just things that I've dealt with in my life. So it's my personal experience and my personal journey, and these are my views of it. And so today we will start off with this painting. And so you see here, you see a man that is barely dressed, and all of these people are around him. Now, in this painting, I wanted to really show how schizophrenia is. And so you can literally just be in a regular everyday space and you can hear up to 20 or 30 voices. And so all of the voices are not negative. Some can be positive, but you really have to block out the negative voices to hear the positive. And so you see him not really dressed in clothes because he's just trying to figure out which voice he should listen to and what path he should take. And so when you don't have your emotions balanced, or you're not actively pursuing God and pursuing positivity every day, you can begin to get lost in your diagnosis. And so this is what I would tell anybody who's suffering with schizophrenia. I would challenge them to do everything the right way, so that if you do hear a negative voice, you automatically know, that's not from God. And so just trying to keep everything positive, keep everything balanced, keep your work-life balanced, keep your mind balanced at all times is something that schizophrenics do deal with. And so I just challenge everybody to continue on a godly path and be positive. Okay, so we're going to jump right in to, I have some business ideas. And so we're just going to talk about what business ideas is good for you to start a new business. And these are just ideas that I have. These are not, you can use them if you want to. Like, I don't need anything from you. So I'm just giving it away. So my first business idea is life insurance that goes to the doctor appointments with you and explain your diagnosis and prognosis. So we do have life insurance policies, and people do life insurance. But I believe that if someone has been ill and they get a prognosis or diagnosis from the doctor, that someone should kind of, if they want it, that follow them and explain to them exactly what it is. Because sometimes when doctors speak, the patient is very new to the patient. They don't understand and know, what these medical terms are. And so because doctors have so many other patients to see, they kind of give you what they know, and then they give you a little paper. But if you don't understand, you don't understand. And so they need to actually go through a treatment plan with you if they want you to get better with your health. And so that ties right into mental health and physical health. And so I began to, on my journey, on my walk with Christ, I began to have mental health challenges. And so remember when I told you, when I first came to him, I was in trouble. And so, the trouble didn't get any better. You know what I mean? I just came to him. But the trouble actually got worse. You know what I mean? And so I was like, the people at church, or, you know, Christians and everything, they say, you know what, just if you're in trouble, go to God and he'll fix everything. He'll do everything for you. And so I said, okay, you know, I'm going to do what they said, you know. And so when I realized that it was not getting any better, it was actually getting worse, I said, you know, who is this guy that they serving? Because the one I am serving has not got me out of trouble. Actually, it got worse. And, you know, I'm really struggling mentally and physically. And so I began to read some of the Bible stories, because I actually went on this journey by myself, because it was just like everybody who was talking to me, I just could not understand them. It was like maybe they were speaking another language. I don't know. And it could have been the schizophrenia all the time, but I just didn't know because it didn't get that bad. And so as stress started to build up, life and everything else, those problems that you kind of just pushed in the back starts to come to the front, come to the surface. So now it's like all these tons of bricks on me, and I finally just like crash out. And so after I started to read the Bible, I started to read the Hebrew boys. And so, and I think it was Nebuchadnezzar. And so he wanted them to bow to him, because he didn't, you know, he was the only God and there was no other God besides him. And so the Hebrew boys decided that they didn't want to bow. Now, I realized that they stood up for God, but they still got through in the fire. You know, so it did not stop what they was going through. It did not stop what they was going through. It did not change the situation. He said, I'm going to kill you. And that's what he meant. You know what I mean? So when they stood up for God and they decided that I'm not going to bow and I'm going to stand up for God, I'm going to profess my faith. They still went in the fire, but God went with them. And so this is just to say that, you know, people's experience with Christ is very much different from yours. And so don't expect to just miraculously get out of trouble unless, you know, God has ordained that for you. But for, you know, if you're in a regular situation and you're in trouble, he's going to come into your situation and help you. He's not just going to open up, you know, heaven and do these things. Now, for some people in the Bible, he has opened up heaven and did those things for them. But, you know, you also want to have a reality mindset as well as a faith mindset. So you want to see your situation for what it is. Like, okay, this is a bad situation. What do I do? And then you start to lean on God, and he starts to let you know and tell you things to do that can possibly help you get out of your situation. But it's not always a kind of Superman, superhero type of savior. And so that's just my little nugget of truth. Hope you found that that type of story a good story to, you know, maybe share with someone who may be into some type of trouble. And, you know, really tell them to lean on God, because he gives discernment, he gives wisdom, and he will always come and fight for his people. And so I will see you later. Bye.